lot of slander to get off my chest. We got a lot of notes to go through.
That slander is going to be... It can't even be called slander because you know what? I called it. TG called it. And, you know, going off the analyst of, you know, Pittsburgh and on ESPN, just listening to them talk and just keep diminishing the fact that Jacksonville defense is not sincere. That's the slander deserves to go to this analyst who said, "Oh well, Le'Veon Bell and Ben Roethlisberger are they're gonna beat them. They're focused. They're ready." That's who the slander deserves. Not just to the Steelers.
No, you absolutely right, but you know we ain't gonna jump in and just shit on the Steelers. Well, actually we are. You know what I mean? And I think I forgot his name. What was my man's? I think Ramsey. Son, he was like, I don't even know why these motherfuckers in the Steel City confident. We done rolled up in this bitch before and cracked that ass, put 41 on the board. Well, they hung 41 in the bleachers and had this nigga Ben Roethlisberger contemplating retirement. So you know what? I give him that on that point. You feel me? Like we about to really. I think there's a lot of shit going on between their defense. Their defense is weak because Blake Bortles is looking like a fucking Pro Bowler out there. Their offense can't fucking penetrate their defense, and then when you really put pieces together, there's some bad coaching decisions, man. What's going on in the Steel City? What is going on in the Steel City, man?
I think that's what it is. It's just bad coaching decisions because that for them to not trust their defense. All right, let's make Blake Bortles.
Bruh, Blake Bortles was looking like a fucking stud out there. Let's really talk. What you mean, hells no? He's out here completing passes. He's doing drop back. Bruh, you're still caught up on thinking he's trash.
Listen. No, he's not trash. I will never say he's trash. He's a comparable quarterback. I will never call him trash. This is the thing. Their run game is dominant. Their run game is efficient. It's effective.
LSU, baby.
The biggest back in the league right now. Which is
he's not the biggest back.
Fournette. No, I'm talking about like height wise, not like big strength. He's strong as shit, but he's the tallest back, so he has more.
What are you like 6'2", 6'3"? He look big, yo.
I think he like 6'4". Like he's a strong runner. Now their run game is so defiant that you know what, no matter what defense you throw at them, they're gonna sit here and get at least 100. Close to 200 yards rushing because their rusher is just he's determined. He's that damn big. He's elusive. Yeah, he's elusive at that. Like, he's not just only big and it's like, oh, he's running through niggas. No, he's giving niggas the burner. He's shaking them niggas out their shoes.
Facts.
And coming out of it, the Steelers defense already wasn't top pick for me because their defense is just so lackluster.
They've been losing people over the years to the retirement and shit, and then it's like
it's not even that. It's just the fact that they don't build through the defense. They build through nothing but offense. Look at their offensive weapons. They got so much offensive weapons, they let go of the defense. That's what most of the NFL is nowadays, any goddamn way.
So you thinking
it's mostly offense.
So you think he was going with the approach like a D'Antoni system where it was just all offense? We're going to beat you down to the point that...
Oh, yeah. We're going to outscore.
Okay. I didn't even think he was... Hold up. Do we have to start that GoFundMe for my nigga Jones again? But look, we're going to have to start the GoFundMe, but we're going to keep it rocking, man, because I think that method, if that's what they was thinking, it wasn't effective because they barely was able to put up points. They were barely able to put up 30. I think they got 30 points probably by, the fourth quarter? So when you really take a step back and look at what Jacksonville was doing, it's like they weren't. They was really putting the clamps on the defensive edge on the Steel City, man. Like the Steelers couldn't put nothing up. Granted, Big Ben had some great completions out there to Antonio Brown. Big plays, 2 touchdowns for him. Shout outs to him. You know, he's one of the top receivers in the league due to pay and performance. So, you know, he should be out there making these big playoff performances. But I look at it like this. The Steelers, I don't think this is the same Steelers that we all, or at least for the Steeler fans that's grown in love, because, you know, there was a certain type of dominance to the Steelers when they got a certain point in the playoffs. We was definitely looking forward to see them, you know, prosper to go meet with the Patriots, because I can't even hold you. I had that ticket punched like weeks in advance. So it's
I would never punch that ticket if I was you.
Oh! The GoFundMe has to come down. He's back, y'all.
Nah, it's actually the iPhone now. My phone is actually like just
trash.
shitty.
Nah, it's all right, man. It's all right.
Yeah,
my
the iPhone
fucking up too.
Yeah, the iPhone is actually like it's that suit that really went through and shit for the iPhone because it's been acting up, malfunctioning, and like that shit is. I thought it was some bullshit, but it's for real. It's, I thought it was the app. I deleted the app. I did everything. I refreshed my phone. Everything. It's actually the phone itself. So it's going. It might cut out again. It might not. I doubt it. I doubt it. Do it twice in a row because I did it. Well, we did a podcast a couple days ago. I ain't cut out not one time.
Yeah.
So, you know, it picks and chooses, but. I wanted to punch that ticket if I was you because, like I was saying before I was cut off.
It was the
reason why I'd never.
It's like a rivalry matchup you want to see, and you want to see him meet at the AFC Championship.
Yes, hell yes. That's definitely a ticket you want to see right then and there. You want to see that, but as I was telling people, their run game is so dominant. You look at their season, their run game is so dominant that it puts Blake Bortles in positions where he don't have to throw 300 yards. He could throw 150, 200 yards with one touchdown or two touchdowns at the most, and their running game will take over, and then their defense will set him up for everything. Like, their defense set him up for those comparable passes.
Absolutely.
He's only a comparable quarterback. Like, he's a good quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback. He's a comparable quarterback.
When you compare him to, say, someone like Trent Dilfer, who won a Super Bowl but wasn't reclaimed or wasn't known to be like a elite quarterback, would you say he's better than or equal to Trent Dilfer? Because I only bring that up. Well, I think he's better than Trent Dilfer. I think he's more of a. He's better with more weapons.
He has a slight edge over Trent Dilfer because he has more weapons.
And he's better. See, the thing is, Trent Dilfer was a game manager. He wasn't airing shit out. I'm not even going to make it seem like Blake Bortles was over there airing shit out either. But at the same time, he's not out here just depending strictly on the run game. He's throwing passes. He's getting mobile. He's finding the open receiver. He's applying QB, what is it called? QB vision? Not QB vision, it's QBR, his overall QB rating. So it's like he's using IQ while he's out there. So it's not like he's just out there. You know what I'm saying? Like how Mariota got lit up in that fucking Patriots game. We're gonna get to that later. But it's like, yo, I just don't think I think they're not giving him enough credit. I really think Blake Bortles is.
I'm giving him all the credit. Blake Bortles is actually a lot better than what the fuck I thought he was gonna be, regardless. Because I thought he was gonna be a bum. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought he was gonna be a bum. I didn't think that they was going, defensively stack themselves up this year like they did, because the Jaguars has had horrendous seasons. They had horrendous seasons where it was like, damn, come on, Jags, like y'all suck, y'all ain't never gonna be good.
Damn,
but they
been like 20 years.
Sat here, yeah, they took their time. They took their time. They progressed over the years, and they sat here and figured out, all right, well, we're gonna build the defense first, then get our offense what we need to be, because they've been building over defense over the last 3 seasons.
Facts.
They've been building defense.
Yeah.
Their defense has gotten better every season. Now, they never had the offensive pieces to complement that
missing piece. I think Coughlin was the missing piece.
I think so, too, because he has the defensive and offensive mindset to sit here and go, you know what? All right, let's continue to build our defense. We good with this.
Because wait.
I could take these losing seasons, but you know what? I know we're going to get our pieces.
Yep.
Leonard Fournette was their best draft pick in the last 10 to 15 years. I guarantee it.
Yeah, but he's been a little injured towards the end of the regular season, and he's not really as explosive as he first was when, like the beginning of the season. And it's like, granted, it's a long season, a lot of damage, a lot of wear and tear, but at the same time in the playoffs, we want to see that explosion come back. So I don't know if he needs to rest more, eat better, get into, more cold baths. I want to see him out there on the field, running niggas over, dropping 2-3 touches, touchdowns a game. Kind of shit he was doing this last game, but it's the fact that's like, I want to see that more consistent. I don't want to see, but the injuries, we can't predict that. But the point is,
I think he took enough rest for him to get ready for the playoffs like he did. I think he took enough rest. You can't rest too much during the regular season. Like you said, it's a long season, but it's wear and tear, but you need to sit here and balance yourself. So he's balanced in enough where he's still explosive. Granted.
There we go. So, King Jones just dropped out again, but it's all good. I'm gonna keep it rocking. So, he progressed enough to still be explosive, but I still feel like his ceiling is going to be so much higher, especially if they keep getting the defense better and if they just build on the offense around him. Because now, say, even if Blake Bortles is, say, a bust or just a Trent Dilfer game manager type, he still gives them enough upside if they build around Leonard Fournette that they could get the weapons, and all he has to do is just really, just be smart, be like they say, a game manager. Just make smart decisions while you're out there. But now I feel like the defense is really what's going to really push, like, take them to like the over the hump pause. But it's like, because with Coughlin there, when you remember with the Giants, they were winning chips, and granted they had offensive weapons, they had Eli, so it's night and day when you really look at the situations. But then we just take a step back, it's like the defense was one thing you remembered in those Super Bowl teams for the Giants. They had a defensive core, they had strong defensive players, like back to Michael Strahan, Pierre Paul. They had I'm not a Giants fan, so I can't run all these names off the top, but he had a strong defensive team and a front, a nice rush of fourth, a nice rush right there on the front line. So point is
that was always the key though. Front four.
Yeah, absolutely.
That front four, and their front four is dominant. Mm-hmm. Not to mention that they got two of the best young, I say, and I mean this when I say this, young cornerbacks right now playing their best ball. Yeah. I think, just like I said, that's why I told you, I don't think you should have punched that ticket. That's a dream matchup. We want to see that rivalry. Steel City versus the Boston, Boston boys. We want to see that matchup every year because it's competition. It's all right, well, Ben gonna go hard, Tom gonna go hard. They both gonna throw for like 4 touchdowns. Defense is gonna kick up. Somebody's gonna come out on top, and it's like, the GOAT versus the, you know what I mean? The GOAT versus the legend, or the legend versus the GOAT.
The Super Bowl before the Super Bowl, because the matchup is that good.
Exactly.
It's good.
So everybody wanted to see that matchup, but like I was telling people, their defense, Jaguar defense, is just too much. Even now, with the game not even happening, the Jaguars are still my favorite to go. It's going to be the Jaguars versus the Vikings in the Super Bowl this year.
You know what? Since you said that, let's transition to that Vikings game, because who that was not the fucking Saints. I don't know what happened. Honestly, I do know what happened.
It was a rookie mistake. You just chalk it up to rookie mistake on the safety. Rookie mistake on the safety. The defense was great. The defensive call was great. Then they got to sit here. It's 6 seconds left. They got to make a sideline throw. They have to. If they don't, game over. Okay, boom. That's it. But the rookie safety tried to make a spectacular, I'm going to not even let you catch the ball tackle instead of just tackling and calling it a day. So it's a rookie mistake.
I want to say I agree with you, but I think the play, everything, I don't even want to say it was a mistake. Everything about that on the defensive side, I feel was perfect. Now, granted, now check this out. I feel like the coverage was perfect. I felt like his coverage on Diggs was perfect. I felt I forgot the receiver who was the backup, the cornerback who was coming to recover. I felt like his placement on the field was perfect. It's just that the way he approached the tackle, he tried to fucking level him.
That's what I'm saying.
You feel me? If
he tried to make you're not catching this tackle. Like he tried to end him. Because he's seen him jump up. Oh, I'm going to take you out by the legs.
He tried to do a 99 Ray Lewis on his ass. I'm like, oh no, we don't play football like that no more, my man. Like, even if let's think about it. Even if he would have executed that hit, that should have probably still been a penalty. Just look how he cocked back you feel me? He was trying to trash him, son. He was trying to trash him.
He was trying to end that man's life.
And it's like, granted, all he had to do was just wrap him up. Like I'm pretty sure we all play fucking, pee-wee or football for our town or our school. The point is that just wrap him up. Grab his legs, wrap him up, game over. Let's really simplify that play on some pee-wee football level. He jumps up in the air. He's totally defenseless. Instead of you cocking back and trying to wreck him, just go for his legs because he's in the air, wrap him up, game over. He don't get out of bounds. Well, he probably gets 4 or 5 seconds on the clock, and now they have to make an even harder drive because believe me, it's easier to get into the end zone from the 50. It's harder to get in there when you're inside the 20. We've seen teams all the time go settle for field goals inside the 20. That goal line defense is something fierce.
When he threw the ball, the ball was in the air for at least 3 seconds. So it was already 6 seconds before the play started. So 6 seconds left. He threw the ball. It was 3 seconds when he caught the pass. When he caught the pass, it actually.
Nah, yeah, his phone is trash. So like you said, yeah, when he threw the pass, it was up in the air, it was hanging. There was about a few seconds left. Granted, so when he caught the ball, so at the point of initial contact, if he would have wrapped them up, that would have been game. So y'all, if y'all home listening right now, just really think about that. It would have been game over because he scored the touchdown as time was expiring. So he probably had a little pull up. They probably been like, what, a second on the clock? 2-3 seconds on the clock, maybe, if they would have, sped this up fast on something. But it's the NFL. They don't really be, speeding up between plays. It's like, just really think about that. So he had the hang time, and then he just made a bad defensive choice of a tackle. That's what I feel it was. But then if you really digress into the actual game, I feel like there was bad decisions all over. Drew Brees didn't play his best game. Now let's look at his record before you even go into this. He's 1-6 on the road for playoff games. 1-7 after this L. And I don't know what to call it. So if you're not good enough to get home field advantage, and you're not good enough to win on the road, what are we really doing here? Is it now, because it's one thing to say it's the offense, it's one thing to say it's the defense. Drew Brees has been there for at least 7. You get what I'm saying? More than 7.
Think about almost 8-9 years.
You get what I'm saying?
8 to 9 playoff runs.
Yeah, and so now within those playoff runs, he's seeing changes. Teams make changes. They add pieces, they get better. And that's one team that's gotten better or at least maintain their level of competition. And you're telling me you can't win on the road? You're 1-8, 1-7 on the road? I understand you play some fierce competition, but it's like, come on. You need that ice water.
Like you said, teams get better from the week that they actually played. The first week they actually played, they wasn't the same team. The Vikings has gotten better. You could tell they watch film because the first week, Kamara and Ingram, they was running all over them. They was running over the Vikings.
Disrespecting.
Smacking them. They was disrespecting them. That's when that tandem combo was like, all right, well, this is going to be a nice little combo. Drew Brees ain't got to sit here and do so much. Mm-hmm. But that game, they shut them down. No run game. Drew Brees can't do shit without runs. He can't set up for his pass without a run. And that's evident. And the Vikings exposed him on that. And that's what they use to their whole advantage. All right, we know you need to run in order to win this damn game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Vikings defense, the Saints defense was okay.
No, I'm saying the Vikings defense is what put the pressure to they shut down the run. He threw 2 picks. He threw 2 picks.
Come on. And it was like, we gonna make you beat us. Only you, because we know you're not gonna beat us because you haven't had that season where you had to sit here and do everything no more. Now you got 2 people you could depend on besides Mike Thomas and Hill. You got 2 running backs who you could promisingly just go, all right, here, take this, get me 10, 15 yards. Here, take this, get me 30 yards. Here, take this, get a touchdown. I ain't got to do much. They shut them niggas down so well that Drew Brees had to sit here and go, I have to play like Drew Brees that won the Super Bowl. I have to win. Yeah. I have to win this. And it wasn't capable of doing
it. And that's so sad, because I want to see Drew Brees really go there. I want to see him make another run, the great two, because think about it, he's right at the tip of that bubble for one more good run. He's either a good, I don't know, I think he's one good receiver away. Let's put it like that. If he could have one lights out season and if this run game could maintain themselves, he's one lights out season away. But now let me just play devil's advocate and digress on this, because I honestly feel that even though the Vikings did win and Stephon Diggs made a marvelous play, I still feel like that was an anomaly, because we've seen that happen for so many years. We just didn't start watching football And like the odds of something of that happening,
It's
like I
suspect.
think the last time something like that happened was the overtime when the Broncos beat the Steelers.
It's suspect.
Wait, remember
Everybody
when
said
Tim
that.
Tebow threw
It's
that
suspect.
pass? He threw that
Yeah,
pass
it
across the
was
middle.
suspect.
It
It was
was
suspect.
and it's
It's
like
suspect.
what's the odd? But see, that's overtime, so I can't really call it on that. So
Yeah,
and
overtime now. You can't call it overtime. Why? Because people was more tired. They played the whole
yeah,
game. Now we got to go into one more section. But for the ending of the game, the game is on the line. You're not gonna just sit here and just throw like it's suspect. It was a suspect thing. So you can't
it
really sit
definitely
here.
was. But just to take a look back, like we said, Breeze wasn't playing his best. He definitely left spots open on the field. The Vikings defense was definitely playing like they was trying to go to a Super Bowl. And then, it's like there was a lot of catch up for the Saints to be playing. Now, I'm not going to lie. I wanted the Saints to win. That game looked like it was the most even out of them all, and the score really defined it because it was the Saints game. It was the Saints game to lose with the last 30 seconds left. Let's really think about it. So I can't really go in too heavy on them right now, but I feel like that's where it's at. Oh, you over here locking security up. He locking security up and getting disconnected from the call. So but outside of that, let's look at the other playoff games we had this weekend, man. We had the Patriots
It's not. Listen, it's nothing else to really look at because the Patriots beat the dog shit out of them. That's not even worth talking about. Not at all.
It's not worth talking about, but I do want to say this because I did end up watching more of that game than I should have because it was a blowout, and I don't know why I even continued to watch. But it's that the Patriots put the pressure on Mariota. I think in the third, going into the fourth quarter, they had like two sequences when the Titans had the ball, and like all they did was blitz them. I think they had about 5 sacks between two sequences. Both drives, the Titans were at least from 33 to first. I think it was like 3rd and 33 or 4th and 33, something crazy. And now, I just say that to say this is that they were definitely sending the pressure. They were sending guys in there. They were crashing the walls. But if Mariota's vision was quicker, or like you see the difference between an experienced quarterback like say Tom Brady, because the Titans did the same thing in reverse to try to level the playing field, put pressure on their quarterback. Hopefully they collapse the pocket. He makes bad decisions, do a few bad throws. At the end of the day, it didn't really work. Tom Brady was quick enough to find the open guy. And when you if you were able to look back at some of those replays in real time when Mariota was getting trashed, there was open guys doing slants across right in front of him. He could little screened hands off, little toss plays, like 10, 15 foot. Like I don't know what he was doing. He was like on some RG3 shit. He wanted to take like 5, 6, 7 step backs, look around, survey the field. And then it's like you get trashed, and then you got to dig yourself out of this hole. And then when the Patriots took the freaking foot off the pressure and gave him the opportunity to survey the field, look for the open receiver, and play his game, he still wasn't even able to capitalize. So I don't know what's going on right now with Mariota or the Titans. And then to really put the icing on the cake, what's this today? Breaking news on SportsCenter: the Titans released their head coach after mutually agreeing to have continue on with him for a few more years. So now I think the Titans need to go find out what they're gonna do. I think Mariota needs to be groomed a lot better.
He definitely does. That's why they got rid of the coach.
Yeah, I think his front line could be a little better, but at the same time, I feel he could be a lot better. And if you improve on both, you can see a lot of damage being done. Because let's look back at their win, them getting into the playoffs, you could call an anomaly as well. So
them getting into the playoffs was the luck of the seeding. Only reason why I say it was that is because they wouldn't have gotten to the playoffs if the Ravens won. You know what I'm saying? Like they just had that strength of a luck that they got in. It's not an alarm. It's not an anomaly. It's the fact that it's pure luck. They got in pure luck. That's it. Pure luck. And it showed that they got in pure luck. And them beating the Chiefs was pure luck. That's it. Alex Smith just had a bad game. The fact that they lost Travis Kelce made the Chiefs game harder. That's it.
Nah, that's a fact.
Because if they'd have had still Travis Kelce, It would have been the Chiefs and the fucking Patriots, and that's how it was. That's what everybody wanted, the Chiefs and the Patriots. Why? Because the Chiefs destroyed the Patriots week 1, so everybody wanted that rematch. Oh yeah, let's get this again.
Yep.
But Titans got lucky, won the game, and then they showed that they're trash. Got their ass whooped. Now they going home.
But we gotta definitely talk about Philly, because we saw both Pennsylvania teams play this weekend, and unfortunately only one of them moved on. Now that'd have been interesting if we would have been able to see a Philly showdown in the a PA showdown in the playoffs, Philly versus Pittsburgh. That'd have been, because it's possible, yes. NFC, AFC, so that'd have been crazy. Keep it on the East Coast. I'm pretty sure a lot of people wouldn't like that, though, on the West and the Midwest, but who cares? It's all about that East Coast gang, gang, gang. But now...
You know it.
But the Eagles definitely pulled out a nice win yesterday over the Falcons. Nice win meaning that this is another deep run for the Eagles that they haven't seen since, like, early 2000s. With probably even earlier than that, probably 99 with
No. 2000 with McNabb. Last time they did it.
Yep, early 2000. All right, just making sure. So now to see them go back this far, and to see them go back with two marginally good quarterbacks, because now what's the Carson Wentz is out on injury, but we already saw what he did to get him here, and now we have Nick Foles in carrying the majority of the load into the playoffs, and we see what he's capable of doing, and he's not lighting up the scoreboard, but at the same time he's not shitting the bed. So you can't really be angry at that, because he's keeping them where they want to be. Now
he's playing within his game.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Good. Yeah, that's the best observation of it. Now, when we look at the that game with Matty Ice, now I honestly felt Matty Ice should have really been doing more. I was the guy, and now people looked at me crazy because I was at the job talking wild, like, yeah, I was expecting more from Matty Ice. I thought he underperformed. Granted, the Eagles' defense was pretty good, but now I said I remember the Matty Ice that was, he used to be lights out. But he had I think one of his receivers retired. I forgot his name. And he had he just had way more potency with his offense. And I just felt like this was a real defensive grind out game, a real cold chill one. So I felt like it could have been a little better. But enough of what I feel, because I keep saying what I felt, it was just an odd one, man. I just really wanted to see the Falcons pull this out, honestly. That could be the Philly hate deep down inside of me. But it was good to see Philly maintain this one. Like you said, it's not really much to talk about. A real sloppy, slow defensive game. Shout out to Philly. But now, when this is all said and done, who do you rock with if you're Philly? Do you rock with the guy who got you there, or do you rock with the guy who won it all if you do end up, winning it? Because think about it.
You rock with the guy who you got.
There.
Exactly. You rock with the guy who got you there, because without injury, he's been doing more. And then we'll be sitting here talking about how spectacular Philly is, regardless. They're only spectacular this year because of what that guy, who is not there right now, was able to do for them. The move, the evasiveness, all that shit that he's done for them. You do not sit here and go, all right, well, Carson Wentz, you won us a championship, so we're going to give you the max contract. We're going to give you everything. No, you don't do that. I mean, you don't do that to Nick Foles. Nick Foles, he's earned a job there. Yeah, okay, he's going to still be the backup. Yeah, somebody going to want to pay him, but he doesn't have to, you know what I mean? Like, no, you don't give up on Carson Wentz because Carson Wentz got hurt. Because then now you're not showing no faith in him. And when he does come back, he's not going to play the same because, oh, well, you just paid the backup more than me because the backup sat here and did something that I couldn't do because I was injured. Not because, and I was a choke artist. No.
My bad, y'all.
But because he was fucking injured. Like, if Carson Wentz wasn't injured, I'm going to give it to you like this. If Carson Wentz wasn't injured, regardless of who he's playing, Matty Ice, I'm going to even put Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers in there, because if they'd have made it, he'd have been playing them too, regardless. Carson Wentz right now, the way he was playing, would have took the Eagles and they'd have scored 40 points. On any team, I give him 40 points regardless because of the way he plays, because he showed that he got the composure to sit here and take his team and destroy the other team offensively, and their defense is strong enough to sit here and go, we're going to back you up.
You know, it's funny though. I actually agree because, like, if Carson Wentz was out there, I feel like the offense would be putting way much up on the scoreboard. I feel like he has a better arm, bigger quarterback, better vision, smarter IQ. You know, and you know, Nick Foles been in the game a while. He's done this before with Philly. I think he led them to the playoffs before too. So this
Yeah, he
none of
did.
this is new.
Yeah, he
It's
led
just
them to the playoffs. He had the highest quarterback rating that year that he led them to the playoffs. You know, they just didn't have the defense at that time. They didn't have a strong defense that they have right now. So this is nothing new. Like, being in this type of situation is nothing new. Now, being this far is new. Being in an NFC
yeah.
championship, yeah, that's new for him. Just like it's new for Casey Keenum, because look, Casey Keenum hasn't even been to a playoff game. So
Hmm.
Casey Keenum is just, all right, well, now let me just ride this good hand.
Well composed
That's
as
all it
well
is.
too. And it's
Yeah,
funny.
and he's composed for it, and that's the sad part. He's never been there, but he's so composed, like he's been there 6, 7 times,
Yep. And
and
that
he hasn't. So it's like, oh damn, what the fuck? Like what? Like, this is scary. It's scary good that he's just, I'm good. I can handle this. All right, let me sit here and make the right plays. He may, fuck up every once in a while. That's what people do. Every once in a while, you get a
yeah.
bad move, bad fuck up, whatever. But he composes so it doesn't hinder his whole game where he just, all right, I fucked up, and then he fucks up again, and then he fucks up again. Nah, he just learn
Yeah.
from that mess up, and then he goes, all right, let me.
Nah, I definitely feel what you were saying though, Jones, because you know, like, because some people could get, get out of their groove. Like, how can you say, like, say it was a receiver, you miss a couple of passes, it's a big game, you feel like they're not going to throw you the ball now, and now you start doubting yourself. You don't think you're going to get the ball, and now they need you. They're going to throw you the ball. You're not expecting it, and now you still got the mentality of, oh, I'm fucking up. So I could definitely see what you mean from there. But I do see this is a good highlight that I saw on Sports Center this morning. Give credit where I did see it. But L.A. Rams had both Case Keenum and Nick Foles on their team at the same time back very early in both of their careers. And it's funny to have the Rams let them both go, them not even qualify for the playoffs, and now both
No.
of them about
They
to go
qualified for
head
the
off.
playoffs. They just lost.
Oh, yeah, they
You got to
did.
remember, they lost.
Yeah, they
They
did.
lost.
They lost
Yeah,
early.
they lost.
My bad.
They lost.
They
They
lost
lost
so
to
early.
They lost to Atlanta. They lost to Atlanta, and
Yeah.
then Atlanta lost to them. So, the question is now, who's going to come out on top? Case Keenum or Nick Foles? For them to be on the same team, for it to go full circle, now we got to battle each other to see who goes to the big game. I think Case Keenum going to do it because Nick Foles, he has to get started immediately. You know what I'm saying? Casey Keenum has showed the composure to where the game could start slow, whether it's be, all right, they got to punt 1 or 2 drives, and then they'll pick it up after that. If the Eagles punt 1 or 2 drives and they get down early, the Eagles aren't going to be able to come back because Nick Foles cannot bring them back. He doesn't have that composure. If he doesn't get started quick, hitting slant routes, and the run game is not, you know what I mean? The run game ain't going to be there because the Vikings defense are just so good that they're going to shut down any run. No matter who you are, they're going to shut you down. So their run game ain't going to be there. If Nick Foles doesn't get started early to where he's hitting 10, 15 yards or 5-yard slants and they moving the chains quickly, Casey Keenum is going to take that game over, and he's going to analyze their defense and destroy them bit by bit every quarter. I see them coming out on top.
That's a very bold prediction, my friend. Holy
I see them
crap.
coming out on top. I see them coming out. Only reason why, because Casey Keenum has showed the composure that a backup is never supposed to have. A backup is supposed to be nervous. Oh, I gotta fight for my job. Somebody could want to pay me at the end of this year. I could probably get paid in a starting role because of what I'm doing if I do well. Casey Keenum is playing like he's already a starting quarterback getting paid $25 million a season. And for him now, when he wins that NFC championship, because they're going to beat the Eagles, he's going to get paid top dollar whatever team he goes. If the Vikings choose to keep him, they're going to let go Teddy Bridgewater. That's going to be something to see.
I hear you, but My bad. I was in the back trying to pull up the game, but the point that I was trying to get to is who was backing up who in L.A. because that might have a little bit of fire fueling this little rivalry or this.
Well, Casey
undertone
Keenum
to
was
the
backing
rivalry.
up. Yeah, Casey Keenum was backing up Nick Foles, and then Casey Keenum took Nick Foles' job, and then Nick Foles got traded to the Chiefs.
They out for each other right now.
Casey Keenum got traded
with each other.
to the Minnesota, and then Nick Foles went to the Chiefs. Nick Foles went back to the Eagles, and then he became the starter in Minnesota. So yeah, they're out for each other. Oh yeah, they are. Oh yeah, I had your job, and then I took your job. So Nick Foles is like, yeah, I remember when you took my job. I'm gonna bust your ass. It's not gonna happen though, and it's gonna be a cold day in Philly.
I put it like this: the only advantage I give Philly is the weather. Now, I fuck with Nick Foles, but I don't believe in Nick Foles, but I do believe in the Eagles, and I believe in them when they have Carson Wentz. But the weather is going to really fuck with them out there, but at the same time, Minnesota is cold as a motherfucker. So they might
Minnesota is used to that. They used to that weather. They used to that cold air. Case Keenum practiced in that shit every day. So it's like, all right, well.
But hold up, though. I ain't get to finish because Minnesota plays in a dome. They used to the cold weather as far as being outside living there. But when you look at Minnesota as far as like how they play football, they play inside of that dome. Like if you saw the game when they beat the Saints, they was out there in t-shirts. The fans was comfortable. Everything was looking real lush while it was outside snowing in Minnesota. So once they go to Philly and they have to play in that actual weather and feel what we feel, it could be close to the water and get that -10. That's gonna really set that ass on fire. I promise you.
I think so. But they have a running game that can actually break through Philly's defense. That's the only thing. Like you got to look at it. Atlanta's running game was beating Philly defense as well. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that stopped Philly the only thing that stopped Atlanta was the lackluster performance from Matty Ice. That's it. To be honest with you, because Atlanta running game was running all over Philly, which is supposed to be the top defense for run. No. No. Nah. It didn't happen like that. So if Atlanta could run all over you, Murray on the Vikings, he's strong as shit. He big as hell.
Facts.
He's gonna run all over you, and he's gonna get at least a buck 20 in a running game. Off of 20 carries, of course. It's gonna be about 20 carries, but he's gonna get a buck 20 off them carries, and he's gonna make his quarterback better to where he puts Casey Keenum in a position to just drop a dime. Yeah, touchdown. There it is. That's all they need. Philly is not going to be able to get that going. They're not going to be able to sit here and use LeGarrette Blount and Clemens and who else? Jay and Jai.
Yeah,
just drop them bombs.
And you know what's crazy? As much as I want to debate and go the other way on this, I think I gotta agree with you, man. I'm riding this purple rain all the way to the Super Bowl, man. Let's go Vikings, man.
Listen, it's Vikings and Jags. That's all it is. It's the Vikings and the Jags this year in the Super Bowl.
Wait, that's what I'm saying. Wait, that was my next thing as far as with the your Patriots. What is your thoughts on the Patriots versus the Jags? How do you feel that's gonna pan out?
The defense of the Jags is going to put them in a position for Blake Bortles to just give drops.
Now, granted, you already picked the Jags, but now I'm saying as far as the game, how do you feel it's going to be? Do you think the Jags are going to go in there and bust ass, or do you think they're going to meet their match?
No. It's going to be mutual. If they win, they're going to do the same thing that they did in Steelertown, which is win by either a field goal or 3 points. That's it. It's not going to be a blowout. Tom Brady is never going to get blown out at home. Never.
Oh. Miami did it. Hold up. They did it. They did it. I don't think it was at home.
That was luck. That was luck. That was luck. That was luck.
Back in the building.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Max in the building.
Okay.
To you like this, bro. I'm gonna put it to you like this. I said the Jags were going to win if it wasn't a high-scoring game. They proved me wrong. They put me on the board, bro. So at the end of the day, right now, if they stop Gronkowski next weekend,
they have to, and they're going to.
That's not winning.
Good.
They're going to.
Wait. Good.
They got somebody. For Gronkowski.
Yeah, they linebacker.
Wait,
They middle
no,
linebacker.
Gronkowski is a problem. Like, he is really hard.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, he's effective on offense and defense. Because the thing is, like, we know what he could do on the offensive side of the
Just
ball.
this.
He come down the field. He's 6'8". He has a
Facts.
7'2", 7'3" reach. He just go up there, grab it. He's big. He's healthy. He's hard to tackle. He'll push you off and run you over. But now, when you look at him on the defensive side of the ball, remember like the episode when we was talking about the fullbacks. It's like he's a creative and a big blocker. It's like having an extra lineman up front. Like,
Yeah,
I'm telling you, like
Yeah.
Gronkowski, like when you see Gronk out there blocking for some of these play actions or some of these, you know, when Tom Brady gets time in the pocket, that's Gronk right there pushing off these defender, you know, these the edges off
Looking
the
like
back.
you're looking like a prime O lineman, bro.
Real shit.
Looking like a O lineman in his prime. So I don't know, man. It's going to be tricky because that Jag defense, they already showed we're hungry. We want it.
Yeah.
And the only threat that the Patriots have, honestly, is Gronk. Let's be real.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Against the Jags defense, and now you and now you got to look at it from this aspect.
Gronk, they got Belichick and Brady and Amendola. You know, so those are still weapons within themselves.
They're a given. Those two are a given. They're a given. We know what that's about. We're talking about them making sure points get on the board, making sure that they can outscore the Jaguars, bro. Because when Jaguars defense get into play, they shutting everything down. They showed you that against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mind you, the Steelers is probably one of the only teams in the AFC that can give the Patriots a run for their money back. Right or wrong.
Wait, I honestly disagree after seeing how the Jaguars were able to dismantle them. Because let's not get confused by that end score. Because, you know, people who didn't see the whole game like myself would see, 45-42 and think, excuse me, and think it was a shootout.
I seen that whole game.
You get what I'm saying?
I seen that whole game.
The Jags was busting their ass. It was like 35-28 or 21.
First quarter they had them up.
You know, they had a fumble.
28-7 first 21-7
First half.
28-14 first half. 28-14 was the score of first half.
Yeah.
And then it was 35-28 because they scored twice. And then it came down to, okay, well, it's going to run down to the last complete. The Jags, like I said, been busting ass. If you look at their season, throughout their season, been busting ass. They've been sitting here letting their defense get them in the best position to kick ass. That's what they've been doing. Their defense. And then the offensive line and Leonard Fournette has been getting to maybe the 10 or the 20, and then all Blake Bortles had to do is throw a 20-yard touchdown pass. They're making it so simple. The same thing that the Patriots could do. The Patriots running backs makes it simple for Tom Brady. He don't have to throw an 80-yard touchdown or have to get that big play to score. No, their running backs do that. But that's what Leonard Fournette does. The same thing.
And Bortles was looking real comfortable in the pocket too.
That's what I was telling Jones, and he was trying to tell me no. I'm overlooking.
No. You're over. I'm over. No, I said Blake Bortles is he's a competent quarterback. He's not a great one yet. He's not a spectacular one yet. No, I'm not giving him all of that.
But didn't I say he was out there looking like he was playing like a Pro Bowler?
But he looks comfortable. Yeah, he looks comfortable. I agree with you on that.
Good.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. He looks like a Pro Bowler. He looks like he's been there a couple of times.
Whoa. Now he don't look like no damn Pro Bowler. Wait. Let's hit the brakes on that right fast. You feel me? I said he was out there looking like he was playing like a Pro Bowler.
No. The reason why I say that is because look at this. Look at him and Casey Keenum, right? Mm-hmm. Two quarterbacks who really, you'd be like, all right, well, they're bums. We had Casey Keenum as a bum. We had him labeled as a bum.
Nah.
Listen, hear me out first.
He's a third string quarterback, bro. He's a third. Bortles is he's there. He's there. That's the Jags quarterback. He's not going.
That's understandable. But look at what it was like. He was there. What last year? He had a horrible season last year. Like we had the same label for Casey Keenum, even though Casey Keenum is a third string quarterback. We had the same label for Blake Bortles. Oh, he's a bum. He was trash last year. He got the line, that he need. He got the running back. He got the weapons on the
definitely
wide
was
out.
trash.
Exactly. And the defense, like I said, built over time, and they finally got the missing pieces this year to make them excellent. The defense excellent. Okay, so now if we had the same label on him and fucking Casey Keenum, now look at them now. Look how composed they are. They're playing like they're Pro Bowl quarterbacks.
No.
They're playing like that.
So wait, the way we're talking about
play
this
oozes.
Jags defense, hold up, Jones, I got a question for you. Is this the 2018 Legion of Boom?
I would say so.
Because they out there whooping on triple A contenders. And I say that because the way they beat on the Steelers, I don't believe if the Steelers was to win that they would go into the New England and walk out successful.
At all.
They
You know what I'm
wouldn't.
saying?
They definitely wouldn't.
I totally agree with you.
They wouldn't.
I totally agree with you.
They are the new age Legion of Boom. And I've said that they're going to be a great defense, but now that I'm watching them and I watched that game with the Steelers, I said, yo, this is Seattle 2.0 right here, because they have the cornerbacks, they have the safety, they have the defensive front. They could rush you for the blitz 5. They don't have to go in the nickel package and blitz 5 and have that other man come in. They don't have to have that sneak package. No, they could play a normal 4-3. That front four rush you, it's over. If they get in, you can't do nothing.
But wait, I feel it has a lot to do. Wait, let me get back to the slander of the Steelers. Don't forget, I got to take a shit on them still. Is that it has a lot to do with the Steelers being incompetent. Because when you look at it, like, I feel like the Steelers' wins throughout the season were overlooked, overhyped. Their losses were overlooked because, they only had 3 losses, but I still feel like, some of their close wins were just that. And they weren't, these weren't blowout wins. They weren't out there lighting up the scoreboard every time. They had their games. Let's not get it twisted. Now, the point I'm trying to say is that for the Jags to just beat them like this twice, and for us to just sweep it under the rug. Think about it, though. When this happened the first time, it was big news. Then, they just put it under the rug. It's the Jaguars and just went back to our day. No one was talking about the Jaguars after that. Let's really be honest. Then this happens again, and then we're like, damn, hold up. Are the Jaguars for real?
No,
the real question is, are the Steelers fake?
It's a catch-22, because now you got to think about it like this: majority of the players on the Steelers squad, they are old. The Steelers team is about time to basically rebranch out and get a brand new team, because that's an old team now. Now, number 2, the Jaguars defense is the shit, bro. At the end of the day, you can't stun them. You can't. Their pass defense is official. Their run defense is official.
Yep.
There's no way you can't deny that. So, in all actuality, at the end of the day, if it do become the Vikings versus the Jaguars is going to take the Super Bowl. Vikings offense is still suspect at the end of the day. They showed that last night.
And
they showed that already.
It's funny you say that. I agree with you as well. I feel the Jags will go all the way, but I just for the sake of the Purple Rain, I think they're gonna put up a fight.
But this is my thing. Piff. This is why I stopped King Jones when he was comparing Bortles to the Vikings quarterback. That quarterback does not look comfortable in that pocket. He still feel brand new.
True.
Brand new. The Vikings,
No. Casey Keenum does not. No. Hell no. Casey Keenum does not look brand new. No, he does not.
Bortles was playing?
No.
Really?
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He doesn't look brand new. He looks comfortable as hell.
All right, man. Okay, if you say so.
Listen, all quarterbacks look comfortable if they don't get rushed. I'm gonna be honest with you. All quarterbacks look comfortable if they don't get rushed, Matt. Come on now. If you don't get no pressure on the quarterback, anybody gonna stand there and look comfortable.
The Steelers was putting pressure on Bortles. Are you serious?
And he rushed up. He took a step, real comfortable. He took a step. Listen,
he did what he had to do.
Exactly. So that's what Casey Keenum did, and it showed that, especially in the last play, which was a miraculous play. But that last play, they brought the house. They brought the pressure on him. He stood up. He stood there. He ain't run out. He ain't scramble around. He stood there, took his step forward through the pass, and was like, all right, cool. If it go, it go. I trust my throw. He looks as comfortable as he's supposed to over the time.
Hold up, time out. Hold up. I ain't gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. Somebody got paid off for that one. You seen the last highlight. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. That's all I'm gonna say about
we can leave that because
you know I'm speaking truth.
We had that discussion already. We was he playing that dodgeball? No, I think he was playing tug your boat. I think he was playing tugboat.
Ball, but forgot he was on defense.
Yeah, I think he was playing tugboat.
Out of here, man. Hey, yo, real talk. I got Eagles over the Vikings, and I'm not even an Eagles fan or a Vikings fan. I got Eagles over the Vikings.
Damn.
No.
So wait.
Eagles over the
You can't have that.
All right, so we gonna put it like this. So me and Jones is riding that purple rain. You're taking the hometown Eagles. Well, not the hometown, but the East Coast favorite Eagles. But we all agree on the Jags is gonna beat out the Patriots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's gonna be an upset. The Jags are gonna beat the Patriots. It's gonna be a good game too. At that.
It's not an upset if we already know.
I don't think it's going to be a good game.
It's not
If
going
it's
to
an
be
upset, it's not going to be a good game because I think the Jags going to go in there. Put it like this: the way that if the Jags is for real, and if Jones is correct, this is the new modern day Legion of Boom. I think they're going to go in there to prove a point. They're going to make a statement.
Of course.
They're going to make a statement, of course, but it's not going to be no blowout.
Let's really be honest.
It's still not going to be no blowout.
Hey, Piff, no, this is the thing. They have to blow them out because if they don't blow the Patriots out, the Patriots some way, somehow is going to cheat.
Facts.
But see, I was talking to somebody about this earlier. That came into my job. It's not going to be a blowout. It's not going to be a blowout. You don't know why? Because you're in Foxborough. That's why. It's never going to be a blowout. Sure. You're in Foxborough. It's never going to be a blowout. So, with it not being a blowout,
game. They have to beat them by at least 2 points. If not,
they're going to beat them by a field goal.
The Jags did go into the Steel City and put up 45. So wait,
that's different though. That's different though. We all know. It is different. It's that much different because we all know that when you go into Foxborough, somehow, some way, the Patriots get more calls than any other team in the league. It's already proven. Stuff that's been shown.
He may be making a valid point, but at the same time, I still feel that, the Jaguars do have a chance to go in there and really throw up some real numbers on that scoreboard. Because
I'm not gonna lie to you, that whole offense surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the perfect example of how Foxborough always wound up cheating people. I'm gonna give you the perfect example. Eric Decker didn't push off of the Patriots defender, and they called offensive pass interference on Eric Decker, which fucked up the whole morale of the Titans because they were on a nice little drive early in the game. But that offensive pass interference that got called messed up their whole morale and fucked up the whole game.
That was probably a part of their strategy. He probably did do that. You got to understand, when you look closer into it, these are probably legit calls. They can't call everything.
No. They show the
you get mad because you don't feel like they call everything.
They showed the replay. Eric Decker didn't push off. Now, when you push off in the NFL, we all know you got to use your left hand or your right hand, and you have to extend. Eric Decker didn't extend. He just dipped them and called it a day. They showed him swiping his hand down. He brushed off. He got open. That was a nice pass. No pass interference, no call. That was supposed to be a no call. He faked it, did the little flop shit. You know how normal people do, just to sell shit. He sold that, and it was called. That one call messed up their whole morale, yo. I'm guaranteeing that. Because they was on that nice drive. They could have scored again. It would have been a closer game if their morale didn't drop after that call, because they wasn't getting shit up. They got more offensive calls. They got more penalty calls than I think they got in their last game. They got more offensive calls. More penalty calls that one game, than their last game that they just played. So, come on now. Going into Foxborough, it's always, it's you versus the Patriots versus the refs. That's it.
Yo, I don't want to agree with you because
you got to, bro. He has a point.
Yeah, you got a point.
It's always like that. It's always like that. And to say that the Jacksonville Jaguars will be the only team to ever go into Foxborough and shut the fucking Patriots out all the way is a hyper extension of what we want the Jaguars to even be. They're great. They are a great defense. They have a great offense. They have a great quarterback now. They're going to be good. They're going to beat the Patriots, but it's not going to be a shutout because Foxborough referees will not let that happen in Foxborough.
So what you think the score going to be then?
Ooh,
The score,
it's gonna be in the 30s. I feel
Yeah,
30s.
yeah.
High
From what I
30s for
seen,
me.
from what I seen last night,
35, 32. 35, 32.
Oh, so they're gonna run it up though. So they're gonna
it's
run
gonna be
it up.
that tough.
They're going to run it up, yeah. Because I believe in their offense. Their offense is going to put Blake Bortles in the best position. Like, I'm telling you,
See, but
that's all they've been doing all season.
I feel like you contradicting yourself because you bigging up the defense, but you telling them that Blake Bortles is gonna do all the work. But you gotta understand the defense be putting up at least 1 or 2 points. Touchdowns a game.
No.
The defense.
I'm not contradicting myself when I say this. I'm saying that it's going to be the defense is going to score. Blake Bortles is not going to throw them more than 2 touchdowns. That's what I'm saying. So the defense is going to put up 2 touchdowns. Blake Bortles is going to put up 2 touchdowns. Probably 2 touchdowns. Because he's not even.
Leonard Fournette's gonna get
no for that.
Leonard Fournette's gonna get 1.5. The defense is gonna get 1.5, and Blake is gonna get maybe 1. That's how it's gonna go.
Yeah, I see. I see Blake getting 1. I see Leonard Fournette probably getting 2. I don't see Tom Brady throwing too many interceptions. Let me say that. That's why I say that. That's another thing. I don't see him throwing maybe more than 1
I don't see him throwing interceptions either, but if you see how the defense get in there and gobble them up, it might be what they were doing to Mariota this weekend might be happening to Brady next weekend. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Listen, all right.
Like,
all right.
like how you
if that happens,
how you talking? It's like you talking like their defense is mediocre. That's how you talk.
I give their defense the utmost credit.
Defense
they have the best defense. The best defense in the NFL. But like I said, it's Tom Brady. I don't see him making too many mistakes. Like we were just talking about, Piff. Tom Brady IQ is so high that I don't see him taking too many sacks or throwing too many picks or letting the defense get to him that much without him giving the ball away.
Brady could rock with a 2-step, 3-step drop back, something small, quick, dump it off real fast.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't see his IQ letting him do that where it's like, all right, I take my 3-step drop and then I sit there and I wait and then he going to analyze it quicker. So they're going to get probably, I say they get maybe 1 or 2 sacks on Brady. They get 1 interception, but they stop him on 3 drives.
Okay, they cut him off right when he was about to go crazy.
He talking that dumb shit.
Yeah, he was talking wild. He was talking wild.
So
2-3 sacks on Brady.
This nigga acting like, this is my thing. We all know Brady. You put pressure on Brady, Brady's gonna make mistakes.
That's what I'm saying.
They put pressure on him last week.
2-3 sacks, like they're gonna be rattling his cage.
They put pressure on him last week. They got 1 sack on him last week.
Time out. Dude, no, you're bugging. They put pressure on Brady last week. It wouldn't have been a 35-7 game team. Are you serious? But they put pressure on Brady.
They did. They put as much
like
pressure
that?
as they can.
Come on, man.
Now we talk about the Jaguars. We talk about the Jaguars front 4 because the Jaguars are known to just use their front 4.
Yo, dude, you see what they did to Ben Roethlisberger?
Like I said, they're gonna get 2 or 3 sacks. I'm not 2 or 3 sacks, 1 interception out of Brady, and their defense is gonna stop them on 3 critical drives to make them win that game. That's how I see it.
Yo, Piff, this guy's acting like they don't have 4 players that have 8+ sacks out of the season.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm hearing him right now. And I'm like, yo,
listen.
Like they don't have the top secondary in the league.
Listen, I'm telling you, I know all of that stuff already. I seen all of that stuff, but I'm telling you,
they talk like you know it, bro.
Brady's IQ is great. We can't deny that. That's what y'all talking as if Brady is just not a great quarterback. Period. Like he
that defense
is a great
like,
quarterback.
I want to see him get trashed too, but
I know.
You saying it like they gonna. Like this
dude,
ain't Pittsburgh. You feel me?
I know they Pittsburgh, but I'm telling you from what I see, the IQ. I'm putting everything together.
What
the
happened when they played the Patriots? The
The
Jags played the Patriots this season, right?
I think so. I have to check, but I think so.
I'm about to check right now.
Yeah, let's find that out and let's see how that went. You know, I'm pretty sure the Patriots came out victorious, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't like how you said 3-4 sacks and like that's crazy.
Hold on, I'm looking right now.
No, the last time they played them, was 2015.
See,
That's the last time
Really?
they played them. Yeah, last time they played them was 2015.
And they both
And-
in the AFC. That's crazy.
And the Jags lost that bad. And they got blown out 51-17. That's when they was trash. That's when Blake Bortles was there, and they ain't had no offense, and their defense was just coming together. So you can't count that and go, all right, well, yeah, because, that's 3 years ago, 2 years ago. You can't count that shit. That's 3 years ago, nigga. That don't count. But like I said, like putting everything all in one aspect.
Oh, they played in the
Josh-
preseason though. They did play preseason.
How'd that go?
What happened?
They played preseason, and that score, I think it was 31-24. Patriots.
Okay, that's preseason though. So I mean, like I said, I ain't knocking things off preseason either. But putting everything in the aspect. I'm not sitting here knocking no defense. We can't knock the Jaguars defense ever. Never again. We can never knock their defense. But the IQ, you got to put it all into play, man. The IQ of Brady and Belichick together, like you said, it's Brady and Belichick. It's not just Brady. They're
That's
playing
all
Brady,
good, bro.
Belichick,
I
and
hear you.
fucking everybody. So
Dude.
the IQ that Belichick sees, he's going to see their defense is rushing them. He's going to make the coverage protection. Oh, yeah, let's protect them a little bit better. So that way Brady can get the ball out faster. So he can sit here and make sure more moves is going. So like I said, it's going to be, I see it going, 1 interception, 3 sacks, and the defense stop them on 3 critical plays to make sure that the Patriots have to punt in order for the Jags to fucking win.
Sounds good.
You coming with these wild predictions, man. You running a parlay somewhere? You got a bookie I should know about? You got some money in
hang on,
your
Word.
Like the way you
This is
saying
just
it,
this
man.
is just what I see. Like you said, this is not our first time watching football. Man, we've been watching football for a while, but I'm never gonna sit here and say, all right, well, Tom Brady's gonna get his ass fucked up. They're gonna fuck him up in Foxborough. No, I'm not, because I've seen Tom Brady play against great teams in Foxborough. We were just talking about the Steelers. The Steelers.
Talking about the Steelers just got their ass trashed in their own hood, bro.
Okay, that's good. That's all well and good, but we all know that the Steelers have they made bad decisions in order to lose that game, because they could have won that game. They made bad decisions to lose that game. That was their fault. And the Patriots and the Steelers, all right, I'm going to give you something. The Patriots and the Steelers, they have a rivalry forever. We're not saying the Patriots with a good defense and good offense, and the Steelers with a good defense and good offense, and it wasn't no fucking blowout. And that's when Harrison, they had, who was it? Troy Polamalu, Hines Ward on, like.
And they won championships with that team, bro.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
They won championships with that team. And right now, as you can see, yo, you want to hear some real shit? You know the reason why the Steelers put up points on the game from yesterday, bro? Because at the end of the day, the Jags looked at it as, you know what, we got this game in the bag. Because look, if you peep game, they came out the door putting shit on lock. Just think of it in this aspect. What if they come out the same way in New England, doing the same thing, but for the whole 4 quarters, 14 minutes of each four quarters, and they coming out doing the same thing they did in Steelerville, bro?
Like I said, I see them beating them. I do. I see the Jags beating them. I see the Jags beating them by maybe 4 points. 5 points, 3 points, whatever, 7 points at the most.
Because let's keep it funky.
I see them doing that, but I don't see their defense.
Let's be real.
I don't see their defense getting no more than maybe 3 sacks on Tom Brady. I don't see them getting no more than 1 interception on Tom Brady. He doesn't make that many mistakes once he analyzes what he's going up against.
That's what I'm saying.
He don't make that many mistakes when he analyzes what he's going up against, yo. And that's what people trying to forget, because the Jags is just that big.
Blake Bortles is going to have to go out there and light shit up.
Yo, but this is my thing, bro. I'm not forgetting that. My thing is, when you have a secondary that have every receiver that you have on lock, what does Brady do then?
His run game. If his run game is potent. They got a run game.
What run game?
James White.
Oh, I thought you meant Brady running.
No. I'm talking about they running game, period. James White. They have good running backs where they can say,
you're gonna sit here and tell me that the Patriots running game is gonna get them 5 to 6 yards, 5 yards or better every carry?
No, not through just pure running. No. They're gonna have to do a little play action. The running backs are gonna have to play as wide outs. But
Yo, real shit, yo, Jones. It sounds good, but even with you saying that, the Jags are gonna win.
Yeah, I know the Jags are gonna win. I never said they was.
The Jags are gonna win. I don't take nothing away from Brady. Brady's a great quarterback, one of the greats, and he has a great Chappelle behind him by the name of Belichick. So at the end of the day, if that could work perfectly. But if you got a defense that's shutting everything, let's give you a prime example. When they played the Giants, every time they play the Giants, he has an issue with the Giants, and the Giants has a great defense.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Giants' defense it was top notch, damn near.
Yeah.
And look what happened. The Giants' defense isn't half of the Jaguars' defense right now.
What the Jaguars' defense right now is pretty much the Legion of Boom beginning.
Yo, real shit. They remind me of 02. They remind me of the 02-03 on Buccaneers. Real shit.
Oh yeah.
How they play?
Rondé Barber. Yeah. I can see that.
Yo, they don't even need their secondary to blitz. Yo, their D ends is coming in with nonstop.
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from the Jags defense. I expect them to win. I expect the defense to play hard. I expect the defense to give Brady a run for his money. Mm-hmm. But as far as Brady messing up and throwing picks and shit, you know what I mean? Like really fucking it up. I see him getting one pick off. That's it. Just one pick, and I see them getting maybe 3 sacks at the most. 3 sacks. Just about.
The real shit. I wouldn't even call it Brady. I'll call it it's a challenge. I'll call it, because at the end of the day, who does Brady really have as weapon? Gronk.
They got Gronk. They got Chris Hogan, Danny Amendola.
Put it like this.
Again, who does Brady really has as weapons?
Brady could create off the dribble. We gonna give him that. You feel me? He got Amendola. He got the receivers, and he could create. He can make things happen out of nothing. He's a magician.
We know that.
And I forgot they got somebody else too, man.
Chris
Hogan.
Harrison.
They got James Harrison.
And they just got James Harrison on defense. So, they got Chris Hogan, James Harrison on defense. They got Chris Hogan, one of the wideouts, Amendola. Like, they got Brandon, what's that nigga name? Brandon what? Brandon Cook.
Yeah.
Like, they have great pieces. And he could create magic.
Names, but they'll get it done. But look,
they have a team.
They'll get it done.